you're gonna have fun, you might as well have a lot of fun.
Wow. August 9th.
August 9th, 2021.
Mopar Monday.
It's Mopar Monday. And what you got, babe?
My 383.
What are we about to do with that?
Take it and get it machined.
Okay.
And get it ready to be doctored into the Duster.
That's right. Where does this engine come from?
My dad gave it to me with a 727 transmission. He had plans for it to go in his Roadrunner, and then he got Mopar madness and bought a elephant crate motor for it. So I hand-me-downed the 383 for whatever car I wanted one day, and I decided to put it in my Duster.
And now we're making that happen.
Yep.
Heck yeah. And over here on the workbench, we've got the 727, which has been patiently waiting. Well, what do you think, Elliot? Mommy's Duster's gonna be really fast, huh?
Elliot hasn't been introduced to YouTube yet.
No, he hasn't. Boys and girls, this is our little new pupperoni here, Elliot,
Shop pup.
our shop pup.
Fanelli Resto.
Elliot Enzo Fanelli.
Come here, bud.
He spends a lot of his time chewing on things because he's teething, or maybe he's just a weird dog, I don't know. He's teething. So Elliot's in Old English. We got him at 10 weeks. He's now 11 weeks old. And just like his big brother, he's gonna probably be a big pup, but we're teaching him all the good ins and outs of the car world and community. So YouTube and car world, meet Elliot, and he's gonna get a ride in Mommy's Duster one day, and it's gonna probably make him pee his pants. So. Maybe me too. And of course, you guys all know my famous Roadrunner that is still hanging out over here. We're getting there. Listen, when you guys get married, you know one thing, right? Happy wife, happy life. So we're gonna take care of Alex's Duster first. We'll get to the Roadrunner later. Listen, I'll still get to drive her Duster, I think, anyway, right? When we're done? Right, babe?
Maybe.
All right. Either way, make her happy. So here's the motor. I picked it up and the damn thing popped out of its slots. I need help. So yeah, this is the motor. Like Alex was saying.
It's an engine, Frank. Motors are electric.
Yeah, I know, motors are electric.
No.
This engine over here. I'm about to take over to Alex's grandpa Roger's shop, who has been teaching me a lot of really cool stuff, and he's an expert machinist. The guy's been working on cars for probably 40, 50 years.
50 years.
Yeah. He's built engines with his hands tied, basically, like in his sleep. He's machined engines out of nothing. He was part of the crew that actually helped rebuild and restore the, what was it called, the Mormon
Meteor.
The Mormon Meteor, which is part of the whole history of the start of the Salt Flats out here in Bonneville, being used as a place for testing out top speed. So he actually reverse engineered machining an engine block for that car, which is really cool. So
From an airplane.
from an airplane, yeah. I forget all the details about it, and there's an actual documentary about it too you guys can watch.
Boys
so
of Bonneville.
Boys of Bonneville, check it out. So I'm learning from one of the best there is in the machining world, and we're gonna take this engine right now, pull over the Cummins, drop it in the back, grab the tray picker, and then we can kind of plan out what we're looking to do here. But we're really excited about this. We're trying to do this for Matt's, the Mopar, or used to be Mopars at the Strip, the muscle cars at the Strip, which is coming up September 10th and 11th over in Vegas. So we got a month. Can we do it? I think we can do it. As long as everything goes right. There's no reason why we can't do it. We just gotta, like, you know, source a rear end and modify the cane member and machine the engine and get all the parts. Easy stuff.
Easy.
Hell yeah. Right, Elliot?
It's like, sure, Dad, whatever.
All right, let's get the 383 loaded up in the Cummins. Take it over to Grandpa Roger's machine shop. Okay, we got our engine. It's way hot out here, especially with you around.
So dumb. Don't drop it.
No, I won't.
I know you will. Okay, you see this stuff around all of those weeds.
That's smart. Hey, shot puppy. You learning stuff out here? Well, YouTube, I've never claimed to be the smartest man on earth. As you know in a lot of my videos, if you watch my Big Bob road trip, for example, I lost sanity when loading the Super Bee on Big Bob. Nonetheless, rookie move. Forgot to extend my cherry picker before doing this, and I wouldn't have cleared the tailgate. So after getting about 3/4 of the way up, I realized that. So now we come back down. We're gonna try it again. So just remember to stay humble out there. You know, yeah, I know a couple things, but I know a lot less than I want to know. And there's so much more to know. And you make mistakes like this, you just laugh about it, because what else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do about it? This is half ton. That should still be fine. It's just an engine. 620 pounds, give or take. Half ton, 1,000, we should be good. We'll start again.
Yep.
Got August 4th, 1970. How funny is that? This is what? August 9th, 2021, so 51 years ago, almost to the day that this engine was made.
Yep.
We're about to remake her again. You've typically got different casting numbers on the side of your block. So here on the passenger side, you've got the actual casting number itself, 246-81309, which is just specific to this engine and when it was cast in its production along the line. And then you've got D for day, N would be for night, and here's a clock, so that means at 11 o'clock. Your driver's side, you got 8/4/1970. 8/4/1970, which is pretty cool because it's August 9th, 2021, so 51 years later, almost to the day, this engine is floating above the ground, getting ready to make its way over to the machine shop so we can get this thing actually put into Alex's Duster, running and sounding good. I don't know how this little wood dolly managed to hold that motor, but it did. What are you gonna do? Good job. Get it up the last couple inches here. On it. We're moving. Yeah, moving. Let's do this. And we gotta come up here for the tire. Go there. Bring it down. It's 2,500, barely even noticed it was in there. Cool. All right. We got us a 383 sitting in the back of this truck right now. All right, we'll leave that hooked up. When we get to the machine shop side, we'll see you guys over at Grandpa Rogers. Let's do it. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend himself.
So much fun.
Yeah. Found this big hunk of steel laying in the road, figured we may as well slap it in my wife's 8-body Duster and make a little street machine power for her. Your wifey. Ow, ow. All right, she's on the engine stand. Now we can get ready. Start stripping her apart.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's great.
And nothing. Rotten luck here. Get it, babe.
This contraption, pretty cool.
Well, that's nice.
I thought it was, oh, it is a bunch of holes.
It is a bunch of washers.
Is it washers or pennies? Yeah, they're washers.
It looks like washers with like some anti-seize kind of goobing them together.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Some parts, you know, we either will or will not be reusing. Like Roger is saying, if this is a cast crank, we might want to try and source ourselves a steel crank so it'll be stronger, have less issues maybe down the road with horsepower that we couldn't use in. These heads we might look into machining ourselves. We can pretty much get the same amount of power with doing proper port, valve job and everything on these as aluminum, but the aluminum's already done, so that's time. Time is money. You spend time on these. Aluminum also could be anywhere from, you know, $700, $1,200, something like that per head. Excuse me. It could save us a lot of money doing it ourselves. Get around the same amount of power. It's still going to be a little bit heavier with these cast iron heads. So I'm kind of going to decide on. Alright, I'm pulling out these spark plugs too. Kind of just looking at them. Definitely was not running to its optimal performance before it last stopped running. But we're gonna fix that. Alright, let's get these heads off. These heads will not just fall off this engine because they have alignment dowels at the end of them, and plus these have been tightened down with a whole bunch of kinds of pressure, so generally you have to pry them off, which, yeah, these have definitely been on this engine. Before we pull the heads off, now we want to pull off the rally pan tray. This piece right here blocks the green stuff going down into your actual rotating assembly, and obviously this part slips the gasket to where the intake manifold is over the heads. Pop this guy off. Now down here you can see where the whole rod will be riding down on the lifter. You can see the top of the camshaft. I'll show you guys real quick. Looking down in here, it doesn't look too terrible at all. I don't see the top lobes of any of those camshaft lobes being wiped out. So that's a good sign. And then it's not really all that dirty in there. I mean, yeah, it's got some miles on it, some old crusted up oil, but everything's been pretty clean on this engine so far. We're hoping that it continues that way throughout the rest of the teardown. There you go. That's all it takes. A little bit of pressure. There she is. Cylinder head. Let's see if we can check for casting number. Yeah. We got 3462346. That's the number.
That's one of the chamber. This one is probably early 70, 75-ish.
The casting number on the block is 71.
That's a small motor. Yeah. In here to feel the slop on the timing chain.
Oh yeah?
Finger down around in there.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of slop.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you pull that out of there and take a couple lengths out and they put them back in, we'll be okay.
Yeah. And there's definitely a good ridge on the top of these cylinder walls, so yeah, we're gonna need to definitely get our machine pretty good. You guys can see the ridge here, right where my finger's catching. That's from the piston rings up and down over all the years. I'm just kind of wearing this out, and this is where it stopped, so definitely be able to bore her out. Like Roger was saying, these are open chamber kind of smog era heads. 482846. Let's get the other one off. Okay. Right here. Nice and gentle. Oh man, good thing I've got strong hands. Don't do that at home. Cool thing you can see here on the passenger side of the block, you've got S383. So that's where it's stamped there as a 383 block. Now we just gotta pop out all of these lifters, get our water pump off the front here of the block, and then we can get our dampener off and pull out the camshaft, and then pretty much ready to go and start getting this thing cleaned up. Now we'll pull out some of these lifters, just kind of reach down underneath, and you can see the surface here, the wear surface. There's a slight bit of pitting right here on the actual contact surface, which just shows a lot of wear on this engine too. So this definitely had a lot of miles on this engine. Not terrible actually. The little impellers here haven't actually rusted off. Definitely seen worse. Mopar, at least on the big blocks. I forget about small blocks, but the big block water pumps are always a two-part like that, where the actual propeller or impeller shafts like that separate from it. It's a nice chunk of rust in there. That actually kind of looks like a freeze plug. That's probably one of the freeze plugs from the cylinder head that popped off. What do you know? Same diameter. That's pretty funny. Probably where maybe this guy had gone off to. Investigation is always cool, seeing where things happen on an engine. Let's get this dampener off. So with our puller, take this blunt end here. That's going to sit in, and this is going to apply pressure against the end of the crankshaft, which is out here, and then it's going to be pushing and pop this off. I'll just shut up. One on there. This part here was press fit down onto the end here of the crankshaft. This giant bolt will press your new dampener down way tight onto the end here of your crankshaft. Cool. Pop off our timing cover. While we're over here too. Our timing cover off here. Timing cover. And look at the lovely slack in that timing chain is right. Wow.
Pretty sweet thing there, huh?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot worse. That's been replaced.
Look at the crack here on the camshaft here.
Yeah, that's a aftermarket.
Chain. And we'll get our bump stick. You see it on there too?
Velcro.
Oh yeah, that one's got a Velcro.
We'll get it quick and dirty.
Yeah.
One head gasket's enough. Who needs two new ones, huh?
That's right. Yeah, and Roger was saying this one here is an original head gasket, and you can see that other one is a Velcro. So yeah, this engine has actually been gone into before. So a really huge update on the project. Roger just filled me in on the fact that he's had a 440 here for a number of years that he was actually planning on using for Alex's father if his 65 Chrysler 300 wound up blowing its motor, but it never happened. So he's been over there machining it, and I didn't even realize he honing the cylinder walls to get him ready to sleeve. Went over and talked to him. So we're not going to actually use this 383. Haven't decided when I'm going to tell Alex this cool secret yet, but you guys know it now. Here is our 440. Roger's got all the secrets.
Not all of them,
Just a few. Getting these cylinder walls ready. Get them sleeved. He says we'll do enough to make Alex run the rubber off this car with no problem, so I think she's gonna like that.
Get two jobs just to pay for tires
That's right.
and gas.
Or I could deal with the tire budget.
Yeah.
Stop eating food. Check that out. See that engine right there? Do you know what that is?
That's mine. No, just kidding.
No,
I'm
'cause
kidding.
yours is over there. Well, actually, Roger, I don't know actually, what does it say right here? Can you, I don't know, there's a lot of oil on it. Can you read right there though? The stamping?
Is it a 440?
You see that, 440?
Yeah.
Well, Roger's actually been saving this engine for your dad because he figured that his Chrysler would maybe blow a motor on it someday.
Aw.
It did never blow the motor, so this is going in your Duster now.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna forget the 383 and we're gonna put a 440 in your Duster
Shut
instead.
up.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
lying.
I'm not lying to you. Tell her, Roger.
What's that?
I broke the news to her.
Oh, you push over? Holy crap. Can't tell
Uh-uh.
you nothing.
You're so full of shit.
Huh?
No,
Are you being serious?
Yes.
this is going in your car, babe.
If you're gonna have fun, you might as well have a lot of fun, don't you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pulling that back. I was afraid we're gonna have to build another one for Michael. I was expecting him to send pieces all over the street, but